Hello everyone, my name is Chris. In this video I'm going to rate every single ability and gadget we have in the finals based on my 1000 hours of competitive experience playing with and against best players from North America and Europe. And I'd like to start this video with a few misconceptions that people have about light, medium and heavy abilities, and we'll start with Evasive Dash. A lot of people think that this is incredibly powerful even with ranged weapons, which is far away from the truth. Your job as a light player is to scout, gather information, off-angle, play your life, and assassinate players that are unaware of your existence. The second you are visible to enemies is the second that they are jumping on you with RPGs, bubbles. They are contesting you with Lewis guns, scars, AKs, model 1887, and there is nowhere to leap forward, right? As a light player, you always want to press W, in the sense that even if your team dies, you want to have the opportunity to set up for the next fight. Maybe you want to have the opportunity to go and rest them. Maybe you want to have the opportunity to go and grieve another team and third party effectively alone. Well, in reality, Evasive Dash is only good with sword. And even then, you quickly realize that you are just a fraction of the power you could have possessed if you were to play Invis, especially if you were running, again, LH1, XP54, or any other weapon. Nothing else to say. Evasive Dash is bottom of A tier, a decent gadget for low-level lobbies, but again, people are gonna punish you for being out of position. People are gonna chase you down. It's not that hard, and even if they don't, you just waste so much time resetting by taking excessive damage that it's absolutely not worth it. Invis, on the other hand, despite being completely nerfed to the ground and light being completely garbage, is gonna take an S tier spot. Again, your role is to scout, off-angle, assassinate, and Invis is going to be the best thing you can have as of right now. You can surprise your enemies with poke damage, and I feel like in the current state of the game, light class is not the main character. Light class is not the person that you rely on in order to win games. More like a person that takes attention onto himself, more like a person that distracts more than solo carries. I can draw parallels between the finals and Overwatch with Tracer, for example, where there are certain patches where Tracer is incredibly powerful. She can one-clip supports in the backline, while in other patches you are here to just draw attention from like a support, so he cannot heal the tank. We have the same relationship between characters in the finals fundamentally. So if you will end up in a situation where you are forcing medium out of position, he is making, or you are making him uncomfortable, you are making him waste his precious amount of utility and ammo onto you and not on his heavy, your team is going to greatly benefit from it. The biggest problem with light is double heavy composition, which you can absolutely do nothing about. They just have so much effective HP and utility that it's not even fun anymore. Honestly, if I were to be like completely honest and fundamentally talk about the game in general in the current state, Invis is going to be A tier and Evasive Dash is going to be B tier, because light class is terrible overall, right? I mean, it can be decent in a 3 versus 3 against like double medium composition, but double heavy is just gonna devour you alive. That's the sad reality of the situation. Killbeam, absolute S tier gadget, always was, always will be. On a medium, there is no substitute for that, because you can pretty much fix the mistakes of your teammates, whether they are mechanical or positional. You can make sure that they are healthy and safe in gas, fire, when they are glitched and out of utility, when they are slow resetting behind mesh, slow resetting behind bubble, slow resetting behind barricade. You want to make sure that your light is always healthy, because the difference between 149 HP on light and 150 is literally the difference between life and death when it comes to, for example, frag grenades, or the difference between 128 HP and 135 is the difference between getting one tapped by model 1887 and not. So there are certain damage thresholds that you can actually go past and save your teammates that way. I would definitely suggest you to stick to your teammates a lot more if you are playing heal beam and not running like a Dematerializer or the turret. I just don't feel like they work, and I'm gonna explain it later. Heal beam is just very versatile. You can use it in defense, you can use it in offense. The biggest problem I see with medium players that are running heal beam in compositions like heavy medium light or double heavy medium is the fact that they take damage first, and they don't realize that there is no one to heal them. You cannot heal yourself, and you end up in a situation where opponents just press W on you, and every single poke damage you receive is permanent. So you just end up letting your team down and becoming an easy target. This is the reason why I highly advise you to run APS to feel a lot safer. Guardian turret, B tier, pretty mediocre, very easy to destroy, very easy to glitch, very situational. If you take a look at the nature of your fights in the finals, you quickly realize that most of them can be transferred to another location, in the sense that it's always an opportunity for your opponents to kite your turret, right? So yes, it can be very annoying. Turret can be very, very annoying, but what if I take natural cover? What if I hide behind the barricade and have a line of sight to it? What if it's get glitched and destroyed by light? And the fights are not stationary. The fights are not for the cash out most of the time, because like you are fighting for position of power more than you fight for cash out. And then when you do fight for the cash out, you end up in a situation where opponents just quickly scout your turret out and destroy it without any significant trade back for it. I mean, it still can work in lower level lobbies, but you end up in a situation where you are wasting your potential as a support, potential as a medium, where you would have the chance to go and quickly destroy the team until the third party comes, but you cannot. You are forcing them to slow reset for like 7, 8, 9 seconds. For example, if a heavy gets to like 3 bars, which is like 70 HP, it will take him 8 seconds of doing nothing, not receiving damage, to get back to full health. And your heal beam can do that in 2 seconds, which is a massive time advantage that you are not gifting your teammates, which is a complete disaster. Despite the fact that developers are trying to nerf Mesh Shield patch to patch, I still feel like this is one of the best gadgets in the game, because it allows you to be extremely versatile, save yourself, save your teammates, steal the cash out, defend the cash out, play close to it, play far from it, and escape inevitable death situations. To think about the fact that Mesh Shield was like 1100 HP and now it's 750 is actually insane. Heavy class was incredibly overpowered, and it says a lot about the incompetence of developers when it comes to balancing in this game. They are bringing it to a balanced state. I feel like 750 is still a little bit more than necessary in order for you to punish heavies that are playing like idiots and relying on their Q instead of relying on their brain. But I mean, give them some time. Season 7 is going to be great in the finals, I'm very much sure. So Mesh Shield, amazing. Save yourself, save your teammates. You need to have at least one in the team. Like in a double heavy composition, you can run Charge and Slam plus Mesh Shield, and yeah, this is great. This is absolutely amazing. Charge and Slam is also an S tier gadget. I would assume that it's not going to be as powerful in any other composition except double heavy with another Mesh Shield user. Like if you like if you go like this is in double medium heavy, this is in heavy medium light. Like you don't want to be a person that lets his team die because you picked the wrong Q button, right? In lower level lobbies, this is gonna work like wonders. You can one clip enemies with it's just insane. You can get triple tapped by charge and slam in a row, and this is very, very fun, incredibly interesting, and super nice. But yeah, charge and slam is great with like sledgehammer, which is pretty powerful in the current meta. Charge and slam is pretty powerful with shotgun, because why would you even play Lewis gun if you are constantly close to your enemies, right? But again, I wouldn't take it as a solo heavy. This is just too much risk, and you don't have the option to like steal and defend cash outs that effectively like you would with Mesh Shield. Dematerializer, very garbage, absolute garbage. People were super hyped at season 2. I was hyped as well. I was like, yo, making walls in holes, Jesus Christ, that's insane. And then you quickly realize that it doesn't give you any offensive or defensive options. Yeah, you can drop the cash out like 2 floors, like you make a hole below, you wait for the cooldown, you make a hole, it drops 2 floors, you drop with the first hole, and then you close the you close the first one, and then you drop and close the second one. But and then you can run away effectively. But outside of that, again, like heal beam is just so much superior. It's insane. Perhaps Dematerializer is going to be played a lot more if they will add faster self-regen on light, because your heavy doesn't need heal that much. And the main problem is that your second medium or your light really requires heal beam, or else they are just going to be a fraction of the power they could have possessed. So like it doesn't give you any, it doesn't shoot for you like a turret, it doesn't allow you to, like, if you end up in a situation where you have to escape and your double movement is not gonna help you, it's just a skill issue on medium. Like, no, it's a terrible gadget, or terrible ability. Grappling Hook, another god-awful thing, probably one of the worst ones you have, because if you would look at the nature of Evasive Dash and Invis, they both allow you to mix up offense and defense, which is very important on light. The ability to engage and disengage, ability to go in the fight and retreat when necessary, is key and crucial in order to become the best light possible. This thing only allows you to do one thing, you go all in, and like, what's next? You are out of movement, you are stationary, your model is really easy to hit, and it's just a complete disaster and absolutely not worth it. Grappling Hook is dog water. And then Goo Gun, and no, like, it can be used, it's better than Dematerializer and Grappling Hook, but still, it's just fundamentally a terrible gadget. Maybe if they would make it harder to break, that can be an option, but again, like, it was used to throw out the cash with jump pad, but now you can throw cash away with gas barrel. So I don't think this is like somewhat nice. All right, let's take a look at our gadgets right now. Alrighty, Frag Grenade. I'm gonna talk about like every single class, but I think Frag Grenade deserves an A tier. A tier for light, B tier for medium, and C tier for heavy, because you just want other options on the market. Like, Frag Grenade is good for offense, but it's not going to give you enough value to justify switching it out for, like, you take a look at light and then you're like, yeah, Frag Grenade might be good, might be good, right? Especially if you are playing like ranged, you might end up in a situation where you like Frag Grenades, but then again, I don't know, man. I really don't know about the medium and heavy. On heavy, you just have RPG Bubble Barricade, and it's irreplaceable in the current state of the game. Nothing can replace that. On medium, you have APS, double movement, Defibrillator, and if you want to throw away some of these things, it's just gonna be wasted value, and you will end up in a situation where you would have survived with an APS, or you would have stolen the cash out because you were faster, because you used the Zipline, or you would have defended the cash out because you used the Defibrillator, but you have Frag Grenades that deal no damage if you don't hit them. And then a lot of the places are very difficult to access with Frag Grenades. For example, you are fighting in a high verticality map and opponents are standing on high ground. How are you supposed to frag them? So it's like, no, absolutely not. Pyro Grenade, absolute C tier, worst, like I don't even know. This is so bad, it's incredible. The range, well, not the range, the radius and the spread of the flames while you are throwing it is like, what, like you have to be very special to die by a Pyro Grenade, right? Like, yes, there are situations where you are trapped in a corner and the person throws it, but then again, like, just shoot him, or frag him. I don't know. I've never seen a person dominate with it, and if you are playing with a Pyro Grenade, I can tell that you are a very mediocre beginner player using it. So yeah. Toxic Gas Grenade. B tier can be used, but a lot of players are running flamethrowers and fire cancels gas. It's just a wasted potential again. Like, realistically, you can use it on... Can you use it on all of the classes again? Like heavy? No, completely irreplaceable with RPG, Dome, and Barricade. Medium, again, completely replaceable with Zipline, Jump Pad, APS, or Defibrillator. And on light, you have Frag, Glitch, and Teleporter, or else you are just gonna be completely freaking useless. So no, B tier, low B tier, maybe top of the C tier. Flashbang, decent, can be used with sword in order to give you some advantage, but again, realistically, this is gonna do more harm to your teammates than to enemies. You have to be really good with your coordination and communication, just like in CSGO, and like flashing 3, 2, 1, boom. Like these should be your comps, and like you can just throw glitches and frags and they never affect your teammates. So yeah, you end up in a situation where, you know, it's just a wasted value, wasted potential. Flashbang, no. Even like the biggest problem with Flashbang is that you never know when you flashbanged someone, because like if their screen is slightly white from being blinded, they're gonna receive a hit marker. You're gonna receive a hit marker. Like, wow, this guy is full blind, and then you jump him and to realize that he sees you clearly. Right, so there is no indicator for that, and yeah, this is not great. Perhaps someday flashbangs are gonna become meta, and you would surprise kids at 2 AM in the morning by flashing them, so they I don't know, lose their eyesight earlier because of all that, you know. Switching bright colors, but yeah, no, not great. Goo Grenade. I think Goo Grenade is better than Flashbang and better than Gas and definitely better than Pyro. It allows you to run away, it allows you to climb heights that you wouldn't have climbed without it. It's a decent substitute for barricades, but it's pretty easy to destroy. You just shoot the bottom thing and it falls apart, and if oh my god, if it would not be for that, this would be the most overpowered thing, I swear to god. Like, you just go everywhere and opponents would spend eternity trying to shoot it down, and when they do, you just throw another one that's off cooldown, and then you have two, and then maybe you can have multiple on a team, and it's just a complete disaster. So yeah, Goo Grenade is decent, could have been way better. Breach Charge, I've seen people use it. No, I mean, well, is Breach Charge better than... Okay, hear me out. In a recent patch, they got rid of the thing where you could have looked everywhere and steal the cash out, or you could have looked everywhere and res your teammates. So if you cannot look everywhere, it means that it's gonna be easier for you to drop the cash out and interrupt it from being stolen, right? Because like every single millisecond you are not line of sighting the cash out, you're gonna cancel the steal animation. Maybe Breach Charge is like top of the B tier, probably better than Goo Grenade, yeah, because it allows you to play objective. Maybe for solo queue this is good, but outside of that, I don't think so. Stun gun, A tier weapon, or not the weapon, A tier gadget. A lot of players were like, yo, but Chris, stun gun got nerfed, now you can press Q. Well, I would want you to think about the stun gun as a utility gadget, not as something that you can reliably use on its own. Like, you use stun gun to cancel steals. Very important on light, because sometimes you don't have time to kill to destroy a person that's stealing, especially when he's being barricaded, body blocked, bubbled, meshed, and no, and 2 times because they're playing double heavy. But also, you can catch people off guard, and it is annoying to get stunned, and there is nothing they can do about it. You can set it up with your teammates, like you stun, they shoot, and then if a heavy player is pulling up the mesh shield, you can always glitch him, and that's gonna be okay. I would say that stun gun is like, yeah, middle of A tier. Pretty nice, very nice. Glitch, 5-second glitch. It's certainly top of the A tier, definitely not S tier. If it would be like 7.5 seconds, I would understand, but now, no. In the current state of the game, you cannot even glitch the C4 for the whole duration. You cannot even glitch the heavy, so he cannot play natural cover or like slow reset a bit, and like, no. Well, I mean, it's useful, but again, not as useful as it was previously, for sure. Sonar Grenade, again, it falls in the same B tier category, where it would have been nice, but it is absolutely not. And a lot of players are like, yeah, Chris, but you can see people through walls. Well, if you have enough experience and pattern recognition skills above average level, you'll quickly realize that players can have so many options when it comes to your positioning, because they always have to play around the objective. So if you're coming from the top and you don't see anyone at the top, where can they be, Sherlock? They can only be below you. Or if you are coming below and you don't see anyone below, where can they be? Above you. Like, it is, or if there is no above, they're gonna be either left or right, and if left is in the open and right is close quarter environment with buildings and natural cover, where can they be? You don't need sonar for that. You can press tab, you have all the information here, and then you just waste the slot of a gadget that would help you offensively, right? It's just, like, it wouldn't help strong, it wouldn't help weak, and absolutely unnecessary for strong players. Like, this is where the Sonar Grenade falls in which category Sonar Grenade falls into. Tracking darts, same thing. I don't know, B tier, tops. It's not that great. Like, yeah, you can track the position of a person, but you can see him across the map because of the outlines. It's not that difficult to, you know, it's not that difficult. No, absolutely not. Thermal vision, really nice. I would place it top of the B tier, very situational, allows you to play 3 versus 3 against lights in a heavy medium light versus heavy medium light mirror compositions. But outside of that, not a lot of players are running lights, so it's not mandatory. You should keep it as your substitute in your inventory. And use it in the final round against other strong lights if they are playing invis and not dashes, but outside of that, no, I don't think this deserves any better. Vanishing Bomb falls in the same category, better than Thermal Vision because of how versatile this is. You can set up the ganks in the smoke for your teammates, but no, absolutely not. It can be used with sword, it can be used with dagger, with evasive dash to give you like this invisibility, but no, it's nowhere near good to justify its use in other classes. Defibrillator is gonna be the first S tier gadget, absolutely great in both double heavy medium light, and double medium heavy compositions, even though it got massively nerfed from season 1. You still have the option to turn around fights. So how it usually happens: one person commits, he gets destroyed by 2 players, and one of them dies. You just defib him, and now you are in a clear disadvantage. You just play the body, and it's going to be 3 versus 2 all the time. The biggest problem I see is that people leave the body of an enemy, allowing enemies to reset with a defibrillator as well, and now it's an equal situation, just like in chess. You had an advantage, and you gave it up like an idiot. Happens. Dome Shield, S tier, better than Defibrillator for sure, because it allows you to save yourself, save your teammates. Kite, just like in Winston Bubble, you will be able to jump out of it, jump in, and kite to the point where it's going to be difficult for your opponent to really like track you down, because he's going to be shooting mesh instead of shooting you. Dome Shield can be used to steal, defend, like, amazing. Absolutely S+ tier gadget, even though it got nerfed a little bit a few months ago. Jump Pad, S tier. S tier allows you to pad from goo, allows you to pad to hide, allows you to pad away from enemies, allows you to pad on cash out, allows you to pad on cash out to defend it, to steal it, allows you to trap enemies, allows you to throw enemies off the map. So if there is a closed environment where you can throw enemies off the map, just like on Soul, you can use it. It can be used to throw away cash outs with gas. So you place a jump pad and then you throw the gas in the cache, catch it, throw it again, and it's gonna fly super far away, right? So this is exactly how you use jump pad. Absolute S tier, nothing else to say. Motion sensor, complete garbage, worst gadget in the game, does not give you any offensive or defensive options. You can use your ears to hear enemies. You don't need your eyes. Gas mine falls in this category, probably better than anything else in B tier, but still B tier because it's just a wasted value, wasted potential. Yes, gas is okay, but then people run heal beam, people run flamethrowers, so in the current meta, no, this is not the greatest option you have on the market right now. Zipline, absolute S tier. If you are a new player, I highly advise you to not run it, because there is APS that you can use effectively to save yourself and teammate, and you don't need to be fast on cash outs and vaults. In lower level lobbies, it's not necessary, and then you would probably fail to find and identify positions of power. So even though Zipline is S+ tier, it's absolutely not mandatory. You can run jump pad, APS, Defibrillator, and it's still going to be absolutely fine. APS is going to be another S+ tier item. I would think that this is like this, perhaps like this. So this is going to be the proper... Zipline is probably the worst out of S+ tier items that you can like give up and won't feel bad about it, right? So you can run pad, defib, and APS, and you're going to be absolutely fine. In the final round, this is probably going to be the meta composition for medium, whether you are playing double heavy medium light, or double medium heavy. Any composition can work. Glitch mine, awful, terrible, absolute garbage. Please don't use it. It's bad. The same with flammable. This is like bottom of B tier. No, absolutely not. Both are god awful. Absolute god awful. Oh, what is that? Data Reshaper. Okay, so it's better than Sonar. Definitely not better than Gas Mine, but yeah, no. The biggest problem with Data Reshaper is that you can turn like what? Explosive barrels into smoke barrels. Well, cool. You can throw barricades into something else. Well, cool. But again, that's just a wasted space in an inventory that you could have used for these things, like S+ tier things, right? I'd advise you not to run it. Explosive mine is good. I would say that explosive mine is the bottom of A tier, because it allows you to set traps on enemy. Like, I died so many times from them. You can tell how annoying the gadget is by how many times you died from it, how strong the gadget is, right? So how many times you died from a motion sensor? Zero registered case in a world of dying from a motion sensor. This thing, it like 2 of them on the floor in an unpredicted angle, you just die. God awful. On point, terrible. Absolutely disgusting to play, but it's bottom of A tier. RPG, absolute must. One of the best gadgets in the game, allows you to kill people, play defensively, offensively, drop cash, create lines of sight. Irreplaceable. Nothing you can replace it with. Best gadget, hands down. Barricade, another great gadget. I think Barricade is going to be better than Dome Shield, better than APS, probably not better than APS. It is great. The combination of a Barricade and APS will allow you to just like, wow. You end up in a situation where you completely dominate the competition, where like, wow, you just place 8 of them and then you place this thing. it becomes a disaster for enemies to do anything against you. And then the C4, I would place the C4 at the bottom of A tier, just like right here. Again, we had a change where you can look anywhere and steal the cash out, and C4s were completely useless. Now, I would understand if you would want to run C4s on certain maps, but at the end of the day, this is a good when you are fighting a 3 versus 3, but then realistically, you drop the cash out once, you fight one team, and then another team comes from below and steals it for free. So it's like a devil's toy, right? You use it to give yourself advantage, and you lose advantage by that. So that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for today's tier list. Hopefully it was educational. Hopefully it was useful for you. Let me know in the comment section. See you next time.